Wait, Shanice is butt naked with Simon in jacuzzi.
Of course she is.
Straight butt naked.
Oh, Bria, okay. Bria, you going outside? Uh-oh. That walk looks dangerous. Oh,
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl, the Brooke Ashley, and today we are here to discuss Summer House Martha's Vineyard, Season 1, Episode 6, and let me just say, another good episode. This show is finally heating up, even though we only have, I think, 2 more episodes left. But Silas, you have tap danced on my last good nerve. The way I'm about to wear you out in this recap because you tried it multiple times. And your interactions with Jason, are you jealous, sir? Do you feel a bit intimidated? Do you feel threatened? Because he's been close to your wife and he's known your wife for what? I think he said 7 or 8 years? Because the way you're coming after him, I don't like it one bit. And again, the way I'm about to read you down. Bria, you also are getting on my last nerves as well. You're not tired of pouting and whining all the time? It's so aggravating. But y'all, let me not jump ahead. Let's just jump right on into it because you guys already know that we don't have a minute to spare. So we open up this episode right where we left it last week with Jasmine revealing at dinner that she feels isolated and she's struggling in her marriage. Now, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out that Jasmine was secretly unhappy. We saw Jasmine say, I think a few episodes ago in her confessional, that she can't imagine doing this for the rest of her life. And she's only 6 months into this marriage. So already I was looking like, yeah, she's definitely not as happy as she's trying to portray. But anyhow, she's crying and she's like, I need my girls. I don't want you guys to think that I'm not in your corner or that I don't want to be around you guys. Like, I need my friends. So now Jordan jumps in and she says, look, nobody's angry at you, sis, but it definitely is an adjustment. You're not the same person and we're all trying to figure it out. Now, while Bria gets on my nerves, I have to admit, I definitely screamed when she was like, Jasmine's over there crying about being isolated, but I don't have any sympathy because she did this to herself. And I have to admit, she did. And she has been insufferable. And when you act that way, you cannot be surprised when people don't want to be around you. The conversation that you had with Jordan in last week's episode, you were out of order for that. Again, sis, you created this new dynamic with you and your friends. So don't cry now when they're all like, okay, girl, you know what? We're good. Jasmine, I hope that going forward, I hope that you're watching yourself back and taking notes and knowing what not to do if there is a season 2. And also going forward in life, you cannot make your relationship status your identity. Whether you're single, in a relationship, engaged, married, there needs to be more to you than just that. Because if anything changes, who are you now? I also feel like Jasmine feels suffocated in her marriage because Silas is controlling and he expects things done in a certain way. But we'll talk more about that later on. But everybody's comforting Jasmine. They're happy that she's sharing how she truly feels. We see Jason give her a hug because he's seated right next to her. And now Jason starts rambling. And Jason, I have to get on you quickly. But the fact that you just went on and on and on, I said, Jason, if you don't get to the point. And I could not stop laughing when Bria was like, spit it out already, damn. And they were all like, yeah, we were hoping that she would just, be quiet. And even Jason had to laugh at himself. He said, look, I had a few drinks in me. I just got this watch. Like, let me speak. But I like how he took it all in stride. He was able to poke fun at himself because he was getting his Dorit on. If you watch Beverly Hills and you know that Dorit goes on and on and on, beyond long-winded, okay? Like, the point is here and Dorit is here and we need her to get right here. So now they toast to them being family and it's time for them to head back to the house. I like how responsible Simon was. He said, look, I'm good and lit. I've had a bit too much to drink. Alex, would you mind taking my car back to the house and driving because I can't operate a vehicle and I need for more people to do that. Please, stop getting in your cars drunk. Now, when they all got back to the house, Bria, you did all that talking about how you want to see your man, how your man has 10 inches and you want to hop on that and this, that, and the third. And when you guys got in the bed and you said, okay, baby, and he was like, no, my stomach's too full. I ate too much. I'm too drunk. Like, maybe tomorrow night. I said, girl, you did all that hollering in the last episode for what? Now, if I were Bria, I would have been pissed. Like, really? You ate that much that we can't have sex? Really? Now, it's the next morning, and we see Jasmine and Jason in the kitchen. And, of course, Jasmine's making Silas breakfast because we learned earlier on that Jasmine makes Silas breakfast every single day. So they're talking about last night. Jason says that he's proud of Jasmine for being transparent about how she feels. And then he adds that since he's known Jasmine for 7 or 8 years, he feels protective over her, and he's also seen her through a lot of heartbreaks and heartaches. Now, I want to ask this quickly. Jason, I know that you watch me. Jasmine, I know that you watched me too. You guys have been down in the comments in the last few recaps. Hey, can you guys give me the timeline? When exactly did you guys live together as roommates? Because at one point, Jasmine was living in the car with Mariah. So when exactly did that happen? When did you guys live together? Like, I need to know the timeline on all this because I'm confused. So now we see Silas say that he's proud of Jasmine for opening up and confessing how she really feels. Now, for some reason, I don't believe it. I think that Silas was pissed that she said all that in front of all of them. I think that he wants to give everybody that facade that they're perfect and everything is just great. I don't think that he wanted it out there that his wife is actually struggling in their marriage. Now, we see Jasmine in her confessional say that it doesn't feel good feeling isolated from her friends, and she's not sure how her friends view her as a wife, and she doesn't want them to think that she's dismissing them because they're not married. Now, Jasmine, like I said a few minutes ago, if there is a shift in your friendships, it's because of your attitude. You're the one making a big deal about you being married and all your friends still being single. And one of y'all made a great point in my comments in last week's recap where you said that Jasmine's probably unhappy in her marriage and she feels isolated, and now she wants her single friends to hurry up and be married too, so that way somebody else can relate to her and her struggles. And that does make perfect sense because, like that old saying goes, misery loves company. Now, when we see Jasmine and Jordan talking, of course they bring up the dinner, and Jasmine goes on to say that she still has her good eye on Simon because she watched the Tinder swindler too many times. Jordan was like, look, that man bought us all these expensive watches. He is all right in my book. I don't have a bad word to say against the man.
Bling, bling, bling. Bitches is mad.
Now, Jasmine, the way you were so excited when you got those watches, I'm like, girl, why are you still trying to shade Simon, talk about, oh, well, I still have my good eye on him and he might be the Tinder swindler? Jasmine, please stop. So now Jordan brings up their friendship and she says, what can I do to be a better friend and support you since you're obviously going through it? So Jasmine says, all I'm asking is that you check up on me the same way that I check up on everybody else. Jordan says, cool, sounds good to me, like I can do that. Now, I was happy to see that Jordan and Jasmine are trying to make sure that nothing comes in between their friendship. And again, Jasmine, if you can just tone it down and stop being so obnoxious, you would be just fine. Now we see Shanice arrive, aka Ashley Darby Jr. I don't care what anybody says. She resembles Ashley Darby. But let me not even bring up Potomac because you guys know that Potomac wears me out. But anyhow, Shanice is back for this weekend. She's happy to be there. And we find out that she actually knew Jason a few years prior when she had gone to Martha's Vineyard years ago. She says that Jason had a crush on her then, and she had no idea. She thought that he was just being really nice. Now, I don't know if she's trying to allude that she wants him now, or there might be something going on between them later on, but I guess we'll find out. Now, mind you, Alex was a bit dry when he saw Shanice come into the house. He was like, hey, Shanice, didn't give her much. Shanice is still angry that Alex Googled her and he felt a way about her because of what he found out. Now, Shanice, if you claim that you don't care about what Alex thinks about you, then why bring it up? Who is Alex in the grand scheme of things? Why do you care so much? Also, Shanice, I feel like you bring it up more than everybody else does. Nobody else is even thinking about what happened with you and your ex. And we don't even know who your ex was. He was in what, one episode of Insecure as an extra, and you just keep acting like he was one of the main stars that you were with. Like, enough already. Now, I thought it was interesting when Simon said, yeah, I know about Shanice and I don't want to speak about certain things. And then Bria says, oh, are you referring to when me and Shanice did OnlyFans together? We find out that they had an OnlyFans and they weren't naked or anything. They were just doing like bikini and lingerie shots. Now, as everybody's getting ready for the day, of course, it would not be an episode if there wasn't some drama surrounding Bria and her dog Milo. So I think Summer was downstairs in the basement and Milo pooped on the floor. So Summer relays the information. I think she tells Alex, or I think she told Silas, but she's like, just so you guys know, Milo pooped downstairs. Somebody go tell Bria. So of course Silas is upset and he wants to have a house meeting. The way I was here for Preston, he said, you guys always want to have a house meeting. It's not that deep. If y'all have one more house meeting, I'm going to scream. I said, I feel you, because you guys are all adults. And Silas and Jasmine treat everybody like they're kids. We don't need to have a house meeting about everything. Go to Bria's room, let her know that her dog pooped, and tell her to pick it up. What's so hard about that? And when Preston and Silas kept going back and forth, and Preston said, you know that you're wasting time, right? You're trying to gather people for a house meeting when you could just walk to her room and tell her what happened. And again, I'm on Preston's side. I loved how Preston didn't even engage with Silas when Silas got angry. He was like, you know what? You're obviously mad. I don't want any parts of it. Like, leave me out of this. And Silas, it seems like you want to have a problem. Like, you really thrive off of confusion. Because, again, just talk to Bria about what her dog did. And I loved how Alex said, hey, Bria, your dog pooped, and she went downstairs and picked it up. I said, thank God. That was easy. We don't need to have a meeting about every little thing that goes on in the house. I really don't like how they don't give Preston enough screen time. I feel like he gets lost in the background. And I think out of everybody on this cast, he definitely deserves the most screen time. I just feel like a lot of other people on the cast are very irritating, very dry. They're doing too much. They want a moment. But I think that Preston really gets lost in the shuffle. And I think if there is a season 2, please give Preston a potential love interest and some more screen time, because him only getting like 30 seconds on the screen is unacceptable, especially since he's the fan favorite. Now we see all the ladies go into the living room and they're just catching up with each other, trying to have some friend time. So they had some charcuterie and some wine. They broke out the face masks. And now Jasmine's asking Jordan about what's going on between her and Amir. Jordan's like, nothing. I didn't come to this house to try to find a love interest. Like, I'm good. I'm just chilling right now. But yeah, me and Amir, that's a no for me. He could be a friend, but that's it. So now Jasmine's asking Shanice about her love life. Shanice says that she went on a date recently. The guy was just her type. He was 6'9" with a big penis, and they had sex. So now Shanice brings up her gripes with Alex. And I said, once again, if you don't care about what Alex thinks about you, then why do you keep bringing up the fact that he Googled you? You're obviously still bothered by it. Now, when she went on and on about Alex, I screamed when Summer said, what does your ex and what happened between you and him have to do with Alex? So they all explained to Summer that Alex had Googled Shanice and her ex, and he found out what happened, and he wasn't too pleased. So she's like, oh, okay. But Shanice going on and on about how what happened with her ex-boyfriend, she dealt with cyberbullying and it was the worst 5 months of her life. Again, while that's really sad and unfortunate, I think that Shanice keeps bringing this up because she thinks that it makes her relevant. When in reality, we're like, okay, girl, I mean, this was what, 5 years ago, 4 years ago? Like, we don't care. And we didn't know who you or your ex was prior to this. So again, the fact that you keep bringing this up is clear that you want some attention. Now, we get to the girls going out for girls' night and the guys going out for guys' night. And I have so many thoughts about the guys' night because Silas, you tried it on so many levels. So of course the guys start off with drinks. You have Silas asking Simon about what's his routine with Bria. Simon's making jokes about how he goes to work, then he comes home, and Bria's asking him for his credit card so that she can book a flight. So now Silas brings up him and Jasmine's routine and how it's been thrown off ever since they've been here in Martha's Vineyard. So he's like, you know, she always makes me breakfast every single morning, but here, not so much. And she's sleeping in every day. And this morning, my breakfast was burnt. You see how she burnt the egg? So Jason chimes in and he says, we're all on this great vacation. You guys just got married 6 months ago. Give it time before you're in these rigid routines. Like, just have some fun. I don't care what anybody says. I think that Jason made so much sense. The fact that Silas is already bitching about breakfast and how she burnt the breakfast one day and she's sleeping in and he wants his breakfast every morning. I said, oh no, that will be a problem. Silas, you're a grown-ass man. And if you have some coins because you do work in finance, sir, then it shouldn't be an issue if you order some food every now and again. It's not going to kill you to order some breakfast. Jasmine is not your slave. She is not your servant. She's your wife. It's clear that Silas already has his vision of what a wife is and what a wife is supposed to do. And Jasmine's trying to fit herself into that box of what he wants when that's really not her. And they're both struggling. So now Silas turns his attention to Jason and he says, Jason, since we're talking about relationships, what kind of women do you like? So Jason says that he likes ambitious women. He finds that to be sexy. He also says that he wants a woman who's big on communication. So now here's where Silas really had me messed up. When he said to Jason, I mean, Jason, you're on some poetic justice stuff and you being the nice guy isn't going to get you any. Like, you're out here just listening to all these women and nice guys always finish last. Now I said, sir, where is this coming from? Also, you just met Jason a few days ago, and for you to do all this, like, that's very rude. And I loved how Jason low-key cleared you and he said, look, I'm an attractive man. I've never had any issue getting women. So again, sir, I don't know what you're trying to spin, but this ain't it. And then when he said, I'm trying to do better because me, you know, shooting my shot and having my fun is what got me into this now where I have a 3-month-old baby. Silas, you sounded like you're jealous of Jason. Are you jealous of how he looks? Because for you to insult him like that and say, oh, nice guys finish last and you're not going to get any. Like, Silas, what are you saying? You're a grown man. And I also love that shade that Preston threw when they were asking what the girls are doing on their girls' night. And Preston said, oh, the girls are definitely twerking and throwing ass and they're getting all the free drinks from all the guys. And Silas was angry. I said, sir, why are you angry? She's allowed to go out and have some fun with her girls, the same way that you get to go out. And when those ladies sent those drinks over to the guys, and I loved how Amir said, nope, you can't get any free drinks, Silas, because you're married. Like, nope, if Jasmine can't get free drinks, then neither can you. And he looked so dumb. I said, look at that. And when they clocked that you weren't wearing your wedding ring, I said, what's that about, sir? Not the same man policing where his wife goes, not wearing his wedding ring. That right there is some real shiesty behavior. And I can tell you right now, I would have some issues with that.
No.
And it makes sense why you're so controlling, because most of the times the controlling partner is the one who's out there doing wrong and they're afraid that their spouse is out there doing wrong just like them. And you not wearing your wedding ring during guys' night, that says a whole lot. I was happy to see all the girls having a good time at girls' night. You can tell that Jasmine needed it. I said, yes, girl, please, because your husband over there, he's on some other stuff. So I said, I know you're happy to get away from him for a few hours. We see Bria and Shanice, they are laid out on the ground. The restaurant owner was like, okay, you girls have to get out. And listen, I get real lit when I have a few in me too. So I said, you know what? Again, no judgment. As long as they're having a good time and not arguing, I'm here for it. Now, the ladies get back to the house first, and they want to change into their swimsuits to go in the hot tub and just have some fun. Now, mind you, they're still drunk. Now, when the guys came back, did y'all see how Nick said to Silas? He said, Silas, you need to put your ring back on your finger. Like, please, like, put that ring on your finger because it might be a mess if Jasmine sees that it's not on your finger. Now, Nick is a good friend for doing that because if I were Nick, I would have been petty. I would have said, hey, Jasmine, you know your husband's out here with no ring. He wants to please you when he's out here like he's a single man too. So Silas is real lucky that Nick was looking out for him. But Silas, you pissed me off when you were asking Summer if there were men around. And Summer said, of course there were men around. Like, what are you asking me? So at this point, we see Jason, Shanice, Simon, Jordan, I think Jasmine, and a few other people in the hot tub. They're all having a good time. And now at this point, Shanice takes off her bathing suit and she jumps into the pool naked. So you have Bria coming outside and she sees that Shanice is naked. And she's like, you're dancing naked in front of my man? Are you serious right now? So she calls everybody else fake for not checking Shanice. And now she storms back inside the house. Now, here's my thing about this, right? Bria, you already admitted to you and Shanice having an OnlyFans some months prior. Shanice revealed that when she was with her ex, you guys would go skinny dipping in his pool. So for you to make this big deal about Shanice getting naked, it wasn't like it was just Simon and Shanice in the hot tub. I feel like you guys are all drunk. You guys are having a good time. Bria, you love attention. So for you to make the biggest deal about Shanice skinny dipping, talk about, oh, getting naked in front of my man, and then when you started cursing Simon out, telling him he needs to get his behind back in the house, I'm like, Bria, you can be upset and feel how you want to feel. I'm not going to invalidate your feelings, but the way you speak to people is off. And also, you're somebody who loves attention. And if I'm being honest, I feel like I could see Bria getting naked in front of somebody else. Like, I don't know. I just feel like Bria's being hypocritical in a way because Bria loves being crazy and she loves being free. But now when your friend does it, now it's a problem. And once again, I didn't feel any ways about it because it wasn't like it was just her and Simon in the hot tub and she was doing all that. No, she went skinny dipping in the pool and she was having a good time. Like, I don't know. I just felt like Bria was doing too much. And the fact that she kept harping on it and she was screaming about it and she kept calling all them fake. I love how Jordan said, what is the problem now? Like, everybody was damn near naked 10 seconds ago, but now it's a problem? Like, everybody shut up. And I agree. It just seems like every time there's a happy moment, Bria has to come in and just bring the drama. So while that's all going on, Jasmine and Silas are in their bedroom, and then we see them having sex in the closet. Now, I saw on Twitter, they were saying that they only had sex 3 times out of the whole 15 days that they were there, and they're tired of production making it like they had sex every night. Now, honestly, I don't really care. I wouldn't really be mad at production for that. Like, it's only 5 seconds that we see that in the show. They show them having sex on the original Summer House. So, I mean, it is what it is. You signed up for a reality show. They're going to show everything. And I don't believe that newlyweds only had sex 3 days out of the whole entire 15 days. Like, girl, please tell that lie to somebody else. So it's the next morning. Everybody's hungover. And we see Bria saying that she had a great time last night. She remembers twerking on the table, falling into the bushes, but she's still angry at Shanice. So we see her going around to everybody. She's going around to Summer. She's talking to Jasmine about it. She's talking to Amir and Nick, and she's going on and on about how she's angry that Shanice was naked in front of her man. When Bria called her mom, even her mom was like, girl, it's not that deep. Like, move on. And Preston was even like, you don't see that you're at the center of all the drama in this house? And again, Bria, don't you get tired? It's the next morning. Let it go. And like I said a few minutes ago, it's not like it was just Shanice and Simon in the hot tub. It was a whole group of y'all in the hot tub. And Shanice went skinny dipping in the pool. And the fact that you would skinny dip in front of her ex back in the day, he's not mad at you for that. Like, I just feel like Bria just wants to create an issue where there is no issue. Now, on the flip side, I do feel like Shanice is one of those people where she has to be the center of attention at all times. And I think that she really does want to secure her spot on the show. So I think that's why she acts the way she does. I don't know. Like I said, I don't care too much for Shanice. I think that she's kind of boring. So I'm not really that invested in this little argument between her and Bria. I think that it's annoying and it's stupid. Bria also acts so immature and she's always fighting with somebody. So at this point, I'm exhausted. It's like, girl, you're mad at something else. What's new? But at this point, we see everybody breaking off into groups. They're all getting ready for their rosé brunch day in the backyard. We see Preston, Jasmine, Summer, and Jason getting some liquor for the event. And they're talking about what went down last night. So Summer says that she was talking to Bria earlier on, and Bria informed her that she's still angry at Shanice, that she won't be attending the rosé brunch in the backyard. She's gonna sit it out. You've already threatened to leave this house, girl, so it's like, you know what? If you want to skip this brunch, then be my guest. But I can assure you, nobody will be crying if you don't show up. And Bria, you really sound foolish because the brunch is happening in the backyard and you're going to stay in your room? Like, that's just so dumb to me. But again, she loves to be immature. She loves all the theatrics, so let her have it. So now we see Silas, Preston, Jason, Summer, and Jasmine are back at the house. And to get ready for their rosé brunch, they're trying to bring the table outside. So Silas is ordering Jason around, and he's pretty much insulting Jason like Jason doesn't have the strength to pick up a table. So Jason's like, you know I've done this before, right? Like, why are you talking to me like that? So Silas says, no, I'm not trying to insult you. It's just that me being a man who was in the army, I just like structure. It's just how I am. And it's like, no, Silas, you're just an asshole. And you think that you know so much. There was no reason for you to talk to Jason like that. I was so irritated. And I was so glad when Jason checked you. And I did not like when you snapped at Jasmine, pretty much berating her because she didn't stick up for you in that moment. When you said, yeah, you're just sitting there. You're letting everybody think that I'm this controlling asshole. You didn't say anything, like, defend me. You're my wife. And I said, excuse me? Who are you talking to, first of all? Second of all, we already think that you're a controlling asshole, whether Jasmine defends you or not. Now, you guys only have 2 more episodes left, and I saw Jasmine was on Twitter, if you guys can get a reunion. If there is a reunion, Silas, the way the viewer questions are about to tear you up, because you have tried it all season long. You and Bria. I think that you guys are the most hated in the house. So we see everybody getting ready for the rosé backyard brunch. And at this point, I think it was Jordan, Amir, and Nick setting up the table. So Alex makes a comment about how Jordan is getting thick. And she's like, excuse me? Like, Alex? Like, I'm just so confused right now. Like, what's going on? Alex has barely said 3 words to me, but now he's commenting on my body. Like, I feel objectified. So Alex says, I'm just joking, but, I'm just saying at the same time, like, you're looking good. You're looking a bit thick. I just thought I would point it out. Now, Alex, you trying to show your personality now. It's a little bit too late for that. We're almost at the end of this season, and you barely said 5 words total. Now you want to be Mr. Personality and flirt with everybody now? I was like, okay. Jordan points out that Alex really hasn't made an effort to get to know anybody in the house. And Alex does admit that he has been a bit reserved and it took him a while to warm up. I said, well, honey, you warmed up too late. You guys only have 4 days left in this house. So Bria's still in her room pouting. She doesn't want to join the brunch. And now we see Shanice getting ready. She says that, look, she's here to have some fun. She's not here to have any BS conversations. And honey, we end the episode with everybody being outside. And Shanice comes out on her balcony and she flashes everybody. And she's like, hey guys, like, wait up for me. And they're all like, girl, what is going on? We see Jasmine saying, this is not okay. We need to have a talk about this. And that's where the episode ends. Again, I was happy that this episode gave us something. I was entertained. It looks like next week's episode is about to be a whole mess. We see Silas berating Jasmine because she ironed his pants wrong. Jasmine, if you don't set this man straight, then I know something. I do not like the way he talks to you. And Silas, that bogus apology that you gave on Twitter, talk about, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry for how I spoke to my wife. I hope that the fans and viewers can forgive me. Too little, too late. Again, if there is a reunion, the way they're about to eat you up because you have tried it. And then it looks like we're going to see some drama with Jordan. We see her crying and having a breakdown. Listen, we have 2 episodes left. I am curious to see how it ends. If there is a season 2, you guys need to be filming right now in peak season. But guys, that was my recap. I hope you all enjoyed, and you guys already know what to do. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you all later. Bye.